Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Football Wizards. Hey, everyone. Before we can start, I just need a confirmation if you can hear me properly, guys, so we can begin the stream. Hey, Supersport Gaming, Fantasy Football Focus, and Abrar. So nice to see you all here. I welcome you all to the stream. Just need a confirmation whether you can hear me properly, so we can start the stream. Alright, so Fantasy Football Focus says it sounds fine. So yeah, hey guys, welcome everybody to the stream. It's nice to have you here. FPL Knights, welcome. Dennis says sounds good. Alright guys, so here we are after game week 13. Last week I said it was really great for me to string 2 decent game weeks together. Here I am after another 77-point game week, guys. So 3 game weeks above 70 points, getting back slowly. So it's been a good time in FPL after such a bad start. It has been a really good time these past few game weeks. So yeah, I'd like to start the stream by giving a small review of game week 13 and how our team got on. So just a second. Let's see how our team got on. Yeah. So basically, guys, Nick Pope, who wasn't seeming the most decent option to everybody, has been doing really well seemingly for the past 2 game weeks. 9 points in the previous game week and 9 points in this one. It's amazing how the fortunes can change. So it was a really nice start to the game week with Nick Pope getting 9 points, and to be honest, he could have got more with an assist for Jay Rodriguez. It was he hit the bar, so he wasn't too far off. He could have got an assist as well. So it was a really good game for Nick Pope. The only problem with Nick Pope right now is how to keep him in the team, especially with these fixtures coming up. So Crystal Palace home might be fine, but what about after that? Manchester City, Spurs, Newcastle, Bournemouth, Everton, Manchester United. Yeah, so looks decent, at least for game week 14, so we'll leave it here. Trent Alexander-Arnold was again the story of the season. Good performance, but 2 points. So yeah, if you look at the stats, he seems like such a good option Premier League wise and FPL wise, but he's just been getting 2-pointers for as long as I can remember. You see here, 3, 2, 1, 7, 2 and 2. So he's not been doing too well, and considering that he's the most expensive defender in the game, it's really hard to keep him in and really hard to transfer him out as well. So it's a catch-22 situation. It's kind of something which we call gambler's fallacy. We keep on persisting with the same players because they can do well, but game week after game week, when they don't do well, we still persist with them, like many people have with Sterling. So yeah, this gambler's fallacy is a really big thing in FPL. So yeah, 2 points for Alexander-Arnold. Lundstrom, what can you say? What more can you say about Lord Lundstrom? He was really decent. It was really decent. So he got an assist against United. He could have scored a goal if it wasn't for De Gea, who was back in form, I guess. But 3 points all the same against Manchester United. Not a bad return. Ben Chilwell was our transfer last week, guys. He did really well. He got 2 bonus points against Brighton. He could have got more in the game, but I'm happy with the transfer. With most people opting for Soyuncu, we went for Ben Chilwell to tap into his attacking prowess, and I'm really happy with Chilwell for now, and I plan to keep him. So yeah, I'm really happy with my transfer last week of Ben Chilwell. Moving on to the midfield, James got us 5 points finally. Rashford converted one of the chances that he created for him. Last week was so shambolic, but at least he got 5 points, and we don't expect too much from a player who's 6.2 million. I guess a 5 points is decent, and he still has some good points in him, so we're gonna persist with him for at least one more game week, and then we have to decide what to do with Daniel James. But against Aston Villa, I think we're gonna persist with him, but a decent return from a 6.2 million player. De Bruyne, what can you say about this guy? I mean, he scored a goal. He played pretty well against a Chelsea team who looked really good for long periods in that game, especially in the first half. Chelsea played really well, but De Bruyne scored a goal, although it was like a deflection, but who cares as long as you get the points. So yeah, after how many game weeks, like you see, De Bruyne hasn't given a really good return since when game week 8, he didn't play against Wolves, Crystal Palace, he didn't give much. 6-pointer against Aston Villa, then two 2-pointers, and then a 7-pointer. So De Bruyne is becoming increasingly difficult to carry. But just like Alexander-Arnold, he's one of these players which, when you have in the team, you at least are able to watch the games with the peace in your mind. Otherwise, if you don't have him and you see him drill those crazy low crosses in the box, you just get lower and lower behind your sofa every time you see De Bruyne play and he's not in your team. So yeah, he's here for the shield, not for the sword. Sadio Mane has been wonderful ever since we brought him in. 9-pointer. It was a really tough match for Liverpool. They're just finding a way to get the results, guys. So Liverpool hasn't been in really good form, or you can say excellent scoring form. Like they drew with Napoli last night, and they barely won from Crystal Palace. But Mane, being Mane, he got 9 points, scored a goal, and got 2 bonus points. The amazing thing is, guys, Mane is now valued at the same price as Mo Salah. Can you believe it? Like last season we were talking about Mane valued at 9.5 and Mo Salah valued at 13 million. You see how the tables have turned. Mo Salah is 12.2 and Mane is 12.2 as well. It's wonderful. I mean, I'm so happy that we got Mane in game week 7. You see how he has performed after that. 12 points, 5-pointer, a 12-pointer in there, 7 and 9. Can't be happier, owner of Mane. Mason Mount didn't play against City, came on for how many minutes? 16 minutes for a 1-pointer. And to be honest, guys, I was happy when Mason Mount came on, because I had a 0-pointer of Rico coming in from the bench. So something is better than nothing. So for me, Mount was good. For many people, Mount wasn't that good because they had some points coming in from the bench. But for me, Mount was good. Moving on to the strikers, guys. I would like to talk about Abraham a lot in this stream today, but for now, let's just say he could have got some points against City, but didn't. He created a couple of really good chances for Willian and I think one for Pulisic, but still he He got 2 points. Not much more to say about him in that City game, but we'll talk more about Abraham as the stream goes on. Vardy, what more can you say about Jamie Vardy? He's in the form of his life, guys. He's on course to complete his record, the same record which saw him score in 9, or I'm not so sure how many consecutive games. I think it was 9. So Vardy has already scored in 5 consecutive games, and he's really looking sharp. And the great thing about Jamie Vardy is he has VAR in his name, and VAR, actually we should start calling him VARDY. Not Vardy, because he took that penalty. Ryan saved it, and then VAR gave the penalty to him again and took away the Ryan save points, took away the Madison goal points, and gave Vardy the goal points. So all in all, it was really good VAR DY goal. And Jimenez, guys, it's been 2 weeks since we brought Jimenez in, and it's been a really good signing for our team. 9-pointer against Aston Villa and 7-pointer against Bournemouth. And looking at the upcoming fixtures, I'm pretty happy to keep Jimenez. Looking at his price point, many people are just because there are other good striking options available, they are thinking to move on from Jimenez, but now the things have really changed after the Abraham injury. So really happy with Jimenez. We brought him in last week, the week before this week, and he has done really well for us. So excuse me. So all in all, a really good game week for us. We got 77 points again. We got 77 in game week 12 and 77 again in this game week. So yeah, we're basically moving on really nicely, guys. It's not that we're like jumping up in the ranks, but we're moving up very nicely. And where are we now? Let's have a look. Where were we? I'm sorry, guys. I'm not reading your comments at the moment. I'll just come back and answer all these comments. Just giving a small review of our game week. So let's have a look at where we were in game week 10. I was surprised to look at this. We were at 2.4 million, guys, and it was a really bad time. It was really bad time. Struggling. You look at this from game week 5 up till game week 10. 2 million, 1.3 million. It was one step forward, one step back for us. One step forward again one step back, and then again one step back. After that we had some really decent game weeks. 79 points in game week 11, 77 in game week 12, and 77 again in game week 13. So really happy with my rank at the moment, and the team value also looks pretty solid. So hope we can move up the rankings now. So yeah, that's about the review, guys. And so all in all, it was a decent game week. And you have a good game week when you see that your bench players haven't scored too many points, and the players in your team have all scored decent points. So yeah, all in all, really happy with where we are as compared to where we were in game week 10, and looking to move on. Just give me a second. Alrighty, so I'm just gonna get to reading some comments. Aram Alavardian says, it would be great to restart doing your weekly review and transfer plan videos again. Following the stream is not always possible, while it is easy to watch a 6-7 minute video and get some piece of advice. Yeah, that's a really good suggestion, Aram. One of the reasons I haven't been doing my videos is because I have been really busy with work, and life as well. I've got a son. He's 1.5 years old now, and he's starting to run around, and I am having to work and then come back home and tend to my son as well. So yeah, I've been really busy, but yeah, I'll try to start getting in some videos. I've had a lot of suggestions from many subscribers to start doing these videos again, but I just do these streams in order to be able to keep up to date, keep you guys up to date with my team and my transfer plan and stuff. So yeah, the short videos are definitely going to follow. That is something which I don't plan to give up. So yeah. Fantasy Football Focus says, I have Brang in Chilwell. You brang in Chilwell. Okay, so here somebody says bought. Okay, so you bought a Chilwell, right? I think Chilwell is a very good option. I could even make a case to double up the Leicester defense, looking at their fixtures, and that double up would definitely be of Soyuncu and Chilwell. But if I had to own one, and if I had the funds, I would definitely go for Chilwell too. So yeah. Prince Muthu says, what about Pulisic, Son or Tomori? Pulisic, Son or Tomori, I think they're all decent options, I guess. Pulisic is good. Pulisic is really good option, and Lampard seems to be really favoring him over Callum Hudson-Odoi. Also, he was injured as well, but Pulisic is a good option. Son, obviously, with Mourinho in charge of Spurs, I think Son is one of the best options, at that price range to get from Spurs, and along with Harry Kane and Dele Alli. So yeah, Son's good. Tomori is fine. I mean, it depends on how your team is structured. For me, Tomori is good, but if you have to choose between Soyuncu and Tomori, then I guess you should go for Soyuncu over Tomori. But if you already have a Leicester defender, then Tomori is good, especially looking at the fixtures of Chelsea. They have really good home games coming up until game week 17. They have 3 home fixtures. So yeah, all good options, Prince. And hey Brian Clinton, welcome to the stream. He says, finally I'm here. I struggled with the internet. Really good to have you here. I welcome you to the stream. Alex the Kid says, you have brought in Chilwell, you have not Brang. Yeah. Vale says, hey, hope you had a good game week. I think I'm gonna bench Tammy. Yeah, we're gonna speak about Tammy Abraham, don't worry about it. We're gonna talk about Tammy Abraham, definitely. Fantasy Football says Brangit. So yeah, now we're in this Shakespeare era, guys. This thing is awesome. Brangit. I think this Brangit is the best. Bruno says, is Gabriel Jesus a good option? Yeah, that's pretty good question, because since Aguero is injured, many managers are looking at Gabriel Jesus. Let me just go to the transfer tab and we can talk about the most important topic, which everybody is thinking about, Tammy Abraham and the strikers. So guys, last night in Chelsea's game against Valencia, Tammy Abraham was reportedly stretchered off, and after the game he got up, he was walking around, and he gave an interview in which he said that he was fine. He was able to walk around and stuff. So that was pretty encouraging for the owners. After seeing him stretchered off in the game, that was pretty encouraging. But it was still not clear from Tammy Abraham's interview whether he will be able to play this game week or not. And even from the interview that Lampard gave after the game, it was not clear as to whether he will play at the weekend or not. So Tammy Abraham is I think still a doubt, but looking at these fixtures, it's such a bad time for him to get injured, because this was so awesome, this fixture schedule for Tammy Abraham, but he just got injured at the very, very wrong time for us. But since everybody owns Tammy, you look at his ownership, like 50% of the managers, they own Tammy Abraham. So we are all in the same boat. But what to do with Tammy is, I think, depends upon Tammy depends upon what Lampard says in his press conference. Because yesterday the official FPL page was showing him 25% injured and a 25% chance of playing, and today it's 50% chance of playing. So I would say let's wait for Lampard's press conference and make the contingency plans, because we need to have a plan in case Lampard comes out and says that Tammy is not going to play. So we need to have a plan what to do with Tammy, whether to keep him or not, because as you can see, his value is 8 million now. To bring him back and to sell him, it is 7.6 million. So it's a big gap for me. Like, to lose 0.4 million over Tammy Abraham is really hard for me to cope up with. But we need to wait what Lampard to see what Lampard says about Tammy. So let's assume, guys, if that Tammy Abraham is going to not play for one game week. Let's say he is not going to play in this fixture. In this fixture. So the problem will be if in case Lampard says that Tammy is going to be injured for 2 game weeks, then you see he's going to be out for these 3 games, because the Aston Villa game and the Everton game is happening in the space of 2 days. If Tammy isn't fit for Aston Villa, I don't think he's going to be fit for Everton either. So that's a big problem. That's a big problem. So I hope he's fit, and let's assume that he's only injured for 1 game week. Then I think the better option would be to bench Tammy Abraham if he's only injured for 1 game week. And if he's out for more than that, then I think it would make more sense to transfer him out, because there's no point in wasting Tammy Abraham or a transfer, or keeping him just for the money on the bench for 3 game weeks. I don't think that makes too much sense to me, at least for my team, because I'm trying to chase some points and I need sword players, and if a shield is injured, so I think I would just go and get another sword player if he's out for more than 1 game week. But if he's out for 1 game week, then I would probably keep him. So that's where I'm at with Tammy at the moment. But a lot depends on what Lampard says tomorrow. That's what I'm thinking about doing with Tammy Abraham. So right now he's in my team. Many people are trying to transfer him out because they think his value is going to fall and stuff. But to be honest with you guys, I would wait for Lampard, before I jump onto some other striker. So let's assume that you want to transfer out Tammy. Let's see what options you have, or what I would recommend in this case. So one of the options that you can go for is Marcus Rashford. He's the first option that we can look at. So he's been having really good a really good season quietly. People don't think of Rashford as a really good FPL option, especially because he missed a few penalties and stuff. And but if you look at his score, guys, he has 74 points. Like, he's the fourth highest scoring forward. He's above Aguero and Firmino, Kane, and all these guys. So So people are ignoring Rashford, but if you look at his fixtures, this is the only problem that why I won't get Rashford right now, because in game week 15 and 16 he has Tottenham and Manchester City in game week 16. After that, he has some really decent fixtures. So if you have Rashford, it's good to keep him. But if you don't, then right now I don't think it is the best time to get him in. He is a decent option. I mean, he did score against Spurs last season, and he can score against them. But since there are better options, so I'd say no Rashford for me at the moment. The second option that we can all look at is one that makes a lot of sense right now, and which many managers are ignoring, and probably they're going for Son, or they don't have enough money to get Kane in one transfer. But we do, as you can see, we have 3.4 million in the bank, and we can get Kane for Tammy Abraham in one transfer. So this also for me, it makes a lot of sense, because if you look at Kane's fixtures, it's not too bad. Bournemouth, okay, Manchester away is not the best fixture, but I think Mourinho would want to get one up against his old club. And then Burnley, Wolves, I mean, it's pretty decent fixture list. I mean, Wolves is not the best, but Burnley, Wolves, again Chelsea, could be a goal scoring game. Brighton, Norwich, Southampton. I mean, these are the games that we should get Harry Kane for. So for me, this is a very realistic option. If Tammy is let's say injured for 3 game weeks, I would be willing to take a hit, take him out, and get Harry Kane in place of Tammy Abraham if he's injured for more than 1 game week. FPL Knight says Danny Ings, definitely. So this is the third option that I was going to discuss. Obviously, Danny Ings, 6 million striker, guys, and has just 5 points less than Kane. And if you see, Kane has played 1074 minutes. Danny Ings has played 821 minutes. So Danny Ings is a really, really good option. He's how many people own him? FPL Knight says less than 5%. It's 4.3%, guys. So Danny Ings is owned by 4.3% managers, and he's been doing really well this season. How many goals does he have? He has 6 goals and 1 assist. That's amazing for a striker of this value. Now let's look at his fixtures. Watford, Norwich. My God. We are saying about Chelsea that they have 3 home games out of 4. Southampton as well has Watford, Norwich, and West Ham at home in the next 4 game weeks. Guys, to be honest with you, it's really, really, really enticing for me at this moment in time to just bring Danny Ings in place of Tammy Abraham if he's injured for a long time. It would give me some funds, and I would get a decent striker as well. Because if you look at Abraham, there was also a case to be made for that Abraham. Okay, let's say against Watford he got 12 points, but other than that, since we've got him in, he scored 3 goals. That's it. He scored 1 goal against Southampton, 1 against Watford, and 1 against Crystal Palace. So yeah, but if he was fit, then definitely we would have kept Tammy Abraham. But Danny Ings is my third option that I would look at to replace Tammy Abraham. Now there was a question about Gabriel Jesus, so let's just quickly have a look at Gabriel Jesus. Yeah. So you see, Aguero is injured, guys, and he's injured, and now Gabriel Jesus is going to play the upcoming matches in this busy schedule. I think Aguero is out for 3 game weeks, so you can realistically expect Jesus to start Newcastle, Burnley, and Manchester United at least. Not the best of fixtures. And if you want a City player, I would probably go with Kevin De Bruyne. So for me, I'm not that much interested in getting Jesus, but many people are. Probably they want a differential, and at 1.9%, a Manchester City striker is not the worst option. But if you look at these games, guys, like, against a defensive team again, against Burnley, and then the Manchester derby, Arsenal, probably not that difficult a game right now, but still, Leicester, Wolves, Sheffield, these games are really tough, and I'm not sure how long Jesus is going to play. So for me, I would like to avoid him rather than go for him, because I think in the same price there are good options. There are other good options as well. Probably you can go for Rashford. You can go for, if you can spend a little bit more, you can go for Harry Kane. And Lacazette, many people think he's an option, but being an Arsenal fan and looking at how Arsenal are playing at the moment, I would say Lacazette is not an option, for me at least. So yeah, let's see. Daniel says Rashford or Robertson. Daniel, I do not understand your question. Rashford is a striker and Robertson is a left back. If you're asking me whether you should start Rashford or Robertson, I don't know how your team looks, mate, but if you have the dilemma of benching one of these two, then your team must be awesome. Yeah, you should think about sharing your team with us. Dylan says, have you looked into Zaha? He says he should bring in Zaha for Mount. Yeah, we shall speak about Mason Mount. I'll just get around to reading some comments, and then I'll come back to Mason Mount. Dylan. Mohammed El Shibani says, what's your transfer plan? Right now, my transfer plan is to hold Tammy Abraham and wait until Lampard gives his press conference and tells us what exactly is going to happen with Tammy. If he's out for 3 game weeks, I will transfer him out, and probably I will get Harry Kane as a replacement. But it all depends on what happens in the press conference. So Brian says, tired of getting 2-pointers from Trent Alexander-Arnold. Would be swapping him to any of the Leicester defenders be a terrible decision? As I told you, I think, Brian, you weren't in the stream when I was discussing about that point. The thing is, selecting Trent Alexander-Arnold week in, week out is gambler's fallacy. It's definitely a case of gambler's fallacy. You know about the gambler's fallacy, right? It was a term coined in a casino where a gambler again and again and again put money on the same color in the roulette, because thinking that okay, the next time that color is going to come, and the next time that color is going to come, and they lost all their money because there was a problem with the roulette, and it kept coming to the different color, and they still kept expecting the same color, and they kept losing their money. It's the same with Trent Alexander-Arnold, and maybe Sterling as well. They both are a perfect case of gambler's fallacy, because we keep expecting them, looking at them, and they play well. They put crosses in, they take shots on target and stuff, and we think they're going to get some points, and every week they keep getting 2 points. So, but for me, if you ask me, I will keep Trent Alexander-Arnold. Many people have suggested to me to get Robertson in place of Alexander-Arnold, but at the start of the season, I selected a Liverpool defender in Alexander-Arnold, and I'm going to stick with him, to be honest with you. But if you want to get a Leicester defender in place of Alexander-Arnold, I would say you can go for him. Probably Chilwell would be my recommendation. But yeah. Mo Saker says, what the hell do you eat? I eat Indian food, bro. We eat home cooked food mostly, So yeah, that's what I eat. I'm not so sure why you asked this question. Please let me know if you have a problem in the stream. I'll try to fix it. FPL Knight says, will bench Tammy, so much value tied up. Yeah, I already addressed that point. Dylan says, mount out for Zaha. Brian says, Kane is a much better option. Yeah, I agree with you. I think Kane is a really good option. Kabir Christian, hey, welcome to the stream, Kabir. He says Soyuncu or Tarkovsky. Let's have a look at the fixtures of Burnley, and I think the decision will be made for you. Actually, let me just look at the fixtures of Burnley. Then you will know that you should not get Tarkovsky in at this moment in time. Look at these fixtures. It's so bad. I mean, I have really huge temptation to get rid of Pope and to get like somebody like Henderson, to be honest with you, because of these fixtures. Crystal Palace, Manchester City, Spurs, Newcastle. Okay, maybe this is not that tough. Bournemouth, Everton, Manchester United, Aston Villa, Chelsea. I mean, these fixtures are really tough. I would definitely get Soyuncu if you look at these questions. If you look at these fixtures of Leicester, look at this. I mean, this fixture list is much more tempting to me as compared to let's say the one of Burnley. So yeah, definitely Soyuncu over Tarkovsky. Hey FPL Penguin, welcome to the stream. Elf Rafai says, should I get rid of Mendy or wait? Yeah, that's I'm not so sure about Mendy. Last week, a lot of people said that when Mendy and Sterling play together, Sterling gets a lot of points because Mendy overlaps and Sterling cuts inside to his right foot and gets lots of chances. But to be honest with you, Sterling has been off the boil a little bit, and because of that, I think Mendy's performances are also getting affected. The second thing why Mendy's performance is getting affected is because Aguero was not really in good form, and Mendy is a player who will get assists. He is not a player who will get you too many goals. He is a player who gets a lot of assists. So I mean, if you have a striker who's not in form, what is the point of Mendy like hooking in all those balls when nobody's going to put finishing touches on them? So for me, and looking at the Manchester City fixtures, I would say that Mendy could probably go out and a Leicester defender could come in. Definitely a good option in my opinion. FPL Knight says Burnley's fixtures are worse. Pope out, sure, for next week. Looking at Gaita, who has great fixtures up until game week 30. To be honest with you guys, I was looking at Henderson, but if he says Gaita has good fixtures, let's have a look. I did not consider Gaita. Let's have a look at Gaita. Alright, oh my god, look at these fixtures, guys. Wow, so many green lights. It's crazy. Burnley, Bournemouth, Watford, Brighton, Newcastle, West Ham, Southampton. It's definitely a good shout. I would not mind getting Gaita in, and he's pretty nailed on as well. Let's see how many games has he played. He's missed 2 games against Manchester City and Arsenal. I think Wayne Hennessy played those games, but I think he's pretty nailed on, and he has 0.6% ownership. I would think he is a really good option. I mean, along with that, I would like to just show you Henderson. Along with that, I would look at Henderson as well. Look at his fixtures too, guys. I mean, not too bad in it. And Sheffield are a really good defensive team, along with Palace, definitely. Wolves, Newcastle, Norwich, Aston Villa, Brighton, Watford. I mean, these 2 fixtures are crazy. After that, he has, from game week 20 to game week 24, he has really difficult fixtures, but around that, he has some decent ones, and Henderson will get some save points as well, but I agree with FPL Knights, and he says that Gaita has amazing fixtures, guys. And Dylan Sarkar says that this is the reason he's looking to bring in Zaha. Yeah, Zaha is good, but the thing with Zaha for me is whenever I bring in Zaha, he just is just so frustrating to own this player for me. How many points has he scored this season, guys? Let's have a look at Zaha as well. Dylan has been talking a long time about Zaha. So how many goals does he have this season? He has 1 goal against Liverpool and he has 2 assists. Slightly underwhelming, to be honest, for a player of the caliber of Zaha, for me. Yeah, he has been sucking. Yeah, pretty much. He's not been doing that well. How many points has he got? 6, 5, 7. I mean, would you really want Zaha? Yeah, he I don't think he has the potential to get big hauls, because what does he do in the game? He runs with the ball and he dribbles, probably scores 1 goal at most in a game. He never was a prolific striker, Yeah, you see, he has had 1 season in the Premier League in which he got 10 goals, like double digits for goals and assists. Otherwise, and even in that season, last season, he got 143 points. I probably would avoid Zaha for now, although it might be an unpopular opinion, but I would probably avoid Wilfried Zaha for now, Dylan. So yeah, that's my opinion. If you want to get anybody from Crystal Palace, I would recommend you could go for either their keeper, Mr. Gaita. I actually don't even know how to spell his name. Yeah, so you could go for Gaita, or maybe if you have some funds, if you need some funds to spare, you could go for this guy. He's 5.1 million and he has more points than Zaha. He has 4 goals scored and he has 48 points. So if you want somebody from Crystal Palace, guys, I would probably go for Ayu. Yeah. So Domenico Deluca says sorry to come in late. Hey, welcome to the stream, Domenico. It's really good to have you here. And Kabir says my team is Ryan. I'll have a look at your team later, Kabir. Definitely, I'll give you an answer. He says, Domenico says, but better late than never. Missed the first comments. I will check it later. Son for KDB. Yeah, Son is. We need to discuss Heung-min Son as well before we move on to the next topic, guys. Let's just have a look at Son. 64 points, guys. And look at the past few game weeks. He's been doing well. Especially ever since we transferred him out, Son has been doing well. Isn't that surprising? It's always the case. This guy is such a troll, guys. Honestly, he's such a troll. Every time I get him, he stops playing well. And every time I transfer him out, he starts playing well. This guy is such a troll. He's just like Callum Wilson and some other players who are permanently set out to troll other people. We got Son for Southampton. We got him for Brighton. I mean, we got him for Watford. And look at this. This is crazy. I'm 5-2-1. Look at these games. It's crazy, this guy. But right now, with Mourinho, I think he is back in good form. But, these fixtures don't look too good to me, at least until game week 18. Bournemouth is fine. Bournemouth, I think Tottenham is going to beat Bournemouth. What about Manchester United? This is going to be a tough game. Burnley, again, a defensive team. I don't know how many they can score against them, but for me, I would keep Kevin De Bruyne. If you have 2 City players, like if you have Sterling and if you have De Bruyne, then probably transfer out one of them and get Heung-min Son. But if you have only one City player, then I would probably keep Kevin De Bruyne and over Son. I think it might be a not a popular choice in my opinion, but I think Kevin De Bruyne is more consistent, has more potential, and I would not feel good to go without any City players. For me, if I had to get a City player, it would be Harry Kane. I just think that's the better option for my team. But then you have to decide what's the best option for your team depending upon how many City players you have in your team. Yeah. So Domenico says, I looked at Patrick Van Aanholt for the same run of Crystal Palace. Yeah, definitely. Crystal Palace has a really good run, and I would highly recommend getting one of their players, guys. Definitely get one of their players. And since they are a defensive team, 44 points, not too bad. 5.6 million. I mean, you could go for one of their cheaper defenders. You could go for Martin Kelly, who seems fit, who seems that he's going to start, but he's not nailed on because when Ward comes back, then Kelly is going to go out. So you can probably go for maybe Cahill, or Tompkins is 5 million. I guess Patrick Van Aanholt is the only good option other than Ward, who's injured. So I guess if you want a Crystal Palace defender, either go for Van Aanholt, or if you want, you can go for their keeper as well, Gaeta. So yeah, that's the thing. In their attacking options, I would skip this midfield. Although many people at the start of the season said they wanted Milivojevic, but I would not get any of these midfield options. I would straight away go to Ayew and get him in. 48 points for a 5.1 million striker. What else do we need, guys? So yeah, Crystal Palace, definitely recommend looking at their fixtures. Just have a look at these fixtures, guys, and if this doesn't convince you, then I don't know what will, but for me it looks really good for them. I would definitely bring one of their players in pretty soon, depending upon what my team needs and how it needs to be set up. Definitely going to get one of their players. Yeah, FPL Night. Sorry, I missed a comment. Elf Rafai says, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Elf Rafai says, Mendy to Aurier. Already have Lundstrom, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Pereira, and Kelly. You want to transfer Mendy to Aurier. You have Pereira, so you have a Leicester defender. You have, of course, you have Sir John Lundstrom. You have Trent Alexander-Arnold. You have Kelly as well. I mean, Aurier is a sample piece. he's really bad. I don't know, man. I just don't like him too much. Especially, we had him in our team on our wild card, I guess. And what did he do to us? He got a -2. He got a red card. He's a reckless player. I'm not so sure he's going to improve under Mourinho. He did score a goal yesterday in the Champions League, but do you really want to go for Aurier? It's your personal preference, to be honest with you. I mean, he is the pick of the Tottenham defenders because the others are more costly than him and less attacking. So if you have to pick a Spurs defender, then probably you can go for Aurier, yes. Another option that I'm going to discuss is also pretty interesting, which is my next topic. I'm just going to read a couple of comments and then I'm going to move on to that topic as well. Knight says, I look at Zaha at least for the festive period. Pulisic is another option, but rotation risk due to the Champions League. I agree with you. I would love to have Pulisic in my team if he wasn't a risk with Callum Hudson-Odoi coming back to fitness and so many fixtures coming in a congested festive schedule. So yeah, definitely he's a good option in my opinion. Pulisic and Zaha, I would personally like to avoid him, but it depends upon your personal preference. Brian says, between Zaha and Ayu, who would you take? Crystal Palace have good fixtures. I'd like your opinion on that. Yeah, definitely. Thanks to Knights for the heads up. I was not really looking at many Crystal Palace players, but now I'm going to. As I said, Brian, I would go for Ayu because he's cheaper and he almost starts every game, and he has 4 goals as compared to Zaha's 1 goal and 2 assists. So if you want to get a cover for Crystal Palace, and let's see the ownership of Jordan Ayew. I keep saying Andre Ayew. Swansea is playing in the Championship, so yeah, I need to take that out of my mind. There you are, Crystal Palace, and so yeah, let's see how many games he has started. I think he has started all the games bar Sheffield. Yep, he started all the games. He's played 951 minutes. He has 4 goals. He has 11 bonus points. What is there not to like about this guy? I don't know. I think I would. 8.1% ownership. He's a sword. By the way, guys, if you don't understand why I keep saying a sword and shield, these are the 2 words which are very popular on FPL Twitter, and as I'm mentioning FPL Twitter, guys, at the bottom of your screen, my Twitter handle is given @theFootyWiz. Please don't forget to follow me, and please don't forget to like this stream and subscribe to our channel, because when you like the video, it gets shared to more people, and then that way our channel has more chance to build a bigger FPL community of more wonderful people like you. So don't forget to follow us on Twitter and like and subscribe to this channel. So yeah, you see, I would go for Andre Ayew definitely over Zaha, whose ownership is 7.7%. And about the concept of the sword and shield, I would like to tell you what that means. Basically, shield is someone like Tammy Abraham, not today because he's injured. Shield means that you have to own a player so that he will protect your rank from falling, because so many managers own him, and if you don't own him and he hauls, then your rank falls really badly. Because let's say Tammy Abraham gets 12 points and you don't have Tammy Abraham, so that means you don't have a shield. Against 50% FPL managers, you don't have a shield, and in case he scores 12 points, you definitely affected really badly. So Tammy Abraham, a player like Tammy, would be a shield pick who will save your rank from falling, kind of, if you can say that. And a sword pick is somebody like, let's say not Daniel James. Who is a sword pick in my team? Actually, my team doesn't have a really starking sword pick, but I have some small ones. Let's say Daniel James, we can say he's a sword because he is owned by 12.5% managers. But the real sword pick would be somebody like in like 1, 2, 3, 4% ownership, who has a potential to score lots of points. Let's say Zaha, for example. I'm taking a wrong example because I don't want him in my team, but see, he's owned by 7.7% managers. So he's a sword, guys, because if he hauls, if he gets lots of points, then there will only be 7.7% managers who are sharing those points. So for us, he is a sword, and Tammy Abraham is a shield. Sword is somebody who'll get you up the rankings. Like, he is somebody who attacks the rank, and shield is somebody who protects the rank. I just wanted to explain that because I use these words a lot, and so the people who are regular on my stream should know what these words mean. So that's a sword which attacks the rank, and a shield which protects your rank. I'm sorry, I just had a tongue twister, but yeah. So that's what a shield and a sword means. So I come to the next topic of the stream, in which I would like to discuss defensive double ups, and it's really important at this stage of the season, in which we can discuss this topic. Let's say we look at which teams to be the best defensive teams of the Premier League. Leicester is one, Sheffield is another one. So I would highly recommend that we at this moment in time we can double up on these assets of Leicester and as well as Sheffield, especially Sheffield, because not many people are doing it, and there's a good way to be a sword by picking up reliable assets of Sheffield. So let's say we have Lundstrom. Everybody has Lundstrom, right? So not everybody, but yeah, 44%. So that's a lot. We pick Lundstrom, and along with that, we go for, let's say we go for, who's the cheapest one, and O'Connell or maybe Baldock, any one of these guys. I'm not really, Baldock plays on the right wing, so look at these fixtures. I mean, you can pick Baldock, for example. That's a Sheffield double up. Really decent fixtures and really decent price to double up on these. Another way you can do it is to transfer out your keeper. Again, with Lundstrom, you can double up Henderson. That way, if Sheffield gets a clean sheet, then you probably get good points from Lundstrom and Henderson. So this is one defensive double up that not many people are looking at, but I would definitely like to suggest to you, because they are a very good defensive team and they have some really good fixtures coming up. These fixtures, I mean, Wolves is not okay. Wolves is a tough fixture and I don't expect them to keep a clean sheet there. But look at Newcastle, Norwich, Aston Villa, Brighton, Watford. I mean, these fixtures, guys, if they keep 3 clean sheets or even 2 clean sheets out of 5 games, I think it would be worth it to double up on the assets of Sheffield. So that was one thing that I had to discuss about that. And the second thing I would like to discuss is the defensive double up of Leicester. And that double up will be between Soyuncu and Chilwell. Attacking these fixtures is a good option, guys. I'm pretty sure out of these 4 fixtures, Leicester is going to get 2 clean sheets. Pretty sure about that. The way they are playing, I mean, I'm no wizard. Technically I am, but you know what I mean, right? I don't have a crystal ball in which I can look and tell you that they're gonna get clean sheets, but yeah. So look at these fixtures. I mean, game week 18 and 19 is really bad, and that time probably you can get one of them out, but after that as well, they have some really decent fixtures. So these are the 2 teams that I would suggest to double up defensively: Leicester and Sheffield. Another team which has really good fixtures, but you cannot defensive double up on them, is Crystal Palace, because they don't have really good attacking defenders. That's a pretty good paradox, I'd say. Attacking defenders, huh? So yeah. So in my opinion, Leicester and Sheffield are 2 teams that we can defensive double up on. Many people are actually looking to defensively double up on Liverpool, let's say. I would not recommend that for one reason. One reason for that is Liverpool have 2 clean sheets, guys, this season. That's insane, depending upon how much their defenders cost, and they just kept 2 clean sheets. Liverpool have a habit of conceding 1 goal and disturbing the whole FPL community, but at this moment in time, if you are defensive doubling up on Robertson and Alexander-Arnold, I would recommend you to save some money and go for a Sheffield double up, or go for, let's say, a Leicester double up. That would be my advice to you. So I would like to take a couple of questions from the Twitter community, because I have a few questions. Just give me a second, guys. I'll just have a drink of water. Alrighty. So Dominica says, never was my intention to drop him. The red card fault. Patrick Van Aanholt. Yeah, that's, we already discussed that. Abrar says that, Dylan, you can go for Son and Rashford instead of Martial and Kane and save some money. Yeah, that's a good idea. Shaquille got his answer. Toxic says, is Kane, Ali, Aurier worth it? I've already discussed about this. Toxic. In my opinion, Kane is a really good option, especially if Abraham is out for 3 game weeks. We can get Kane definitely, because Kane has scored like 3 goals in the last 2 games, doing really well. And I think Kane is a good option. If you want a midfield option, then Ali can be it. Aurier, I'm not so sure because of his red card, and he has a mad rush of blood to his head sometimes. Hey, Capkin, welcome to the stream. Really nice to have you here. He says, hey Wiz, good luck with the streams. Just dropping by to say hi. So I'm really glad to have you here, Capkin, and I would love if you come to more streams. Domenico Deluca says, that's my first option. O'Connell for Peters, and second option Patrick Van Aanholt. The thing with Patrick Van Aanholt is offensive. Yeah, that's right. Patrick Van Aanholt is an attacking player. He scores a few goals, and he has some really good fixtures. So yeah, I would definitely go for Crystal Palace defender. Capkin says it's not easy. Yeah, mate, definitely. No, I'm just kidding, man. I'm just glad that you came here, even if for some time. It's really nice to have you here. Hey guys, we have Capkin Gaming in the stream. Of course, you know him. He's a fellow YouTuber and has an awesome YouTube channel, along with a fantasy football focus as well. So if you still haven't visited their channels, definitely do visit that. Khaleesi says Abraham for Khaleesi, I do not understand your question. If you can please be more clear. Brian says Chilwell and Pereira. I know you suggested Chilwell, but Pereira also has attacking potential. For my team, I did a lot of analysis on these 2 guys, between Pereira and Chilwell. So let's just have a look. How many points does Pereira have? He has 68 points. I think let's just go to the Leicester tab. Yeah. So Pereira is still the highest scoring Leicester defender. So he is a good option, definitely. But in my opinion, I think, I just don't know. I prefer Chilwell a little bit more than Pereira, because Pereira gets his points from scoring goals. He doesn't provide too many assists. If you look at this, he has 2 goals, and this season he doesn't have any assists. So basically he relies on clean sheets and scoring goals, and which is, in my opinion, a little bit hard if you play in a team like Leicester, which play a really rigid system in which fullbacks probably have more overlapping tendency rather than going onto goal. That's the reason we went for Chilwell, because he has 3 assists. Okay, he got 1 goal against Southampton, but that was kind of a one-off. But Chilwell doesn't get goals, he gets assists. So when he overlaps and he puts crosses in, I think he has more potential to get assists and points over the season. So I would prefer Chilwell over Pereira, definitely. Nick says, are you keeping Abraham? Yeah, Nick, I already discussed about that in the stream. So we are going to listen to what Lampard says and then decide what to do about Abraham. It's a really important time of the season. Capkin says, a good work on Wildcats. Yeah, Fantasy Football Focus went on to the Wildcats channel, and yeah, I enjoyed that stream a lot. That was pretty good work, definitely. And so yeah, guys. We have a really good FPL community, guys. It's really nice to be a part of it. Capkin Gaming, Davey, FPL Wildcats, and of course there's bigger channels, FPL Tips, TV, and all these guys. I mean, we have a really good community, and it's a healthy community, and we'd love to keep it that way, and love to keep it growing as well. So yeah, that's a good thing about the FPL community. It's positive, at least. Fantasy Football Focus says the community is awesome and you always support me. Thanks. No, definitely, mate. When I started out my channel, I did get a lot of support from the community, and that's the reason I always try to support everybody who tries to start a channel, try to be a part of the community. So yeah, that's a given that we should all try to do. So guys, I think that's it for the points that I wanted to discuss. If you have any questions, a last few questions, let me know, and then we can call it a day for the stream. I think we've had a good healthy stream, but I think I've covered most of the questions, and right now I just put out my team, which I'm going to, which is my transfer plan for now. The first thing is to keep Tammy Abraham. If he's fit, and if he's out for 1 game week, I will keep Tammy. But if he's out for more than 1 game week, then Tammy has to go. Then, according to my plan, I'm looking at 2 players to bring in for Tammy. Either it's going to be Harry Kane, or it's going to be Danny Ings. These are the 2 players that I'm looking at to replace Tammy Abraham with. But first of all, I would just love to keep Tammy, because Tammy Abraham has, for me, he has like 0.4 million invested in him, and I just don't want to waste my transfer budget. But if he's out for a longer duration, and since my rank is not that good, so I will probably move him on and get Harry Kane or Danny Ings, depending upon what decision we make. So let's see how my team is going to look like. My captain, as FPL Knight says, who's your captain? My captain is going to be Vardy. For the longest time since the last game week, I've had my captaincy on Vardy, and I plan to keep it there. And the only difference maybe, I guess, if I have to keep Tammy, then I'll probably get into Tomori and I'll play this team. And if I bring Kane in place of Abraham, then I'll play Harry Kane, and I'll probably make a mistake, but I'll probably move John Lundstrom to the bench against Wolves. Everybody says you should not bench John Lundstrom. He's and they're right, but out of my team, I think that is the only player who I can realistically bench. So if I get Kane, then Lundstrom goes to the bench. If I don't get Kane, then Tammy moves to the bench, and I will play a 4-4-2. In any case, guys, the team looks healthy for the game week. So I'm pretty happy with my team. Many people are asking about Mason Mount. I think it's a good thing that he didn't play against Valencia and he didn't play against City, so he'll be fresh for these fixture congestion matches coming up. So I think it's a good thing that he didn't play. And although Pulisic is a better option, but if you have Mason Mount and you don't have any other place in your team that you want to fix, or you want to transfer some other player out, then you can probably get Pulisic. But for me, I think I'm going to keep Mason Mount in my team because I think he starts against West Ham this weekend. And FPL Knight says, any suggestions for a midfielder up to 7.3 million? 7.3 million. All right, guys. So I'll just take this last question before we call it a day. Let's see, guys. Midfielder, 7.3 million. All right. So who is realistically 7.3? I'm really impressed by Willian, this this season. He's playing really well. So if you have a place for a Chelsea midfielder, you can go for Willian. Grealish, need to look at his fixtures. No. And who else is there? I think you can go for either Willian, or you can go for Perez. I don't want to get Tillemans, to be honest with you. He's just, in my opinion, the most deep lying midfielder, and I think Perez has more chance to score points as compared to Tillemans. That's just my feeling. But if you can get a little bit more funds, then I think Pulisic would be your guy. But yeah, just like Fantasy Football Focus says, Willian looks really sharp. I mean, he could have easily scored that goal against City, in which Tammy provided the through ball for him. He's just skimmed past the post, so it was really touch and go. But I'm really, really impressed by how Willian is playing under Frank Lampard. So Willian could be your answer, or Perez, I guess, saves you some money. That's the thing. Or maybe you could go for Adama Traore, not my type of a player, but many people think he's doing really well in the Wolves team. So yeah, so for me, Willian or and Perez, I guess. Yeah, that's right. He's playing regularly, and for me, I'm looking at him as well, but I'm more interested in Pulisic. And also I have the funds in my banks. That is the only reason I'm not looking at Willian, but he deserves a shout for sure. So guys, I think it's time to end the stream. I would like to thank you all for being here. It was really, really, really good to have you here. Before you leave, guys, do subscribe, do like, and just follow us on Twitter at @thefootyviz. I would like to thank you all for being on this stream. I had lots of fun, and I hope to see you in the future streams as well. Thank you, Fantasy Football Focus, FPL Nights, and everybody for being here. And I hope you all have a great game week 14. I'll keep you updated about my Tammy Abraham situation, about what I'm doing with him, and other stuff. So don't forget to follow, don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to have a great game week and come back with a great green arrow, guys. I'm out of here. Have a good day. Bye bye.